it's a good thing. So I love it. I'm looking for a little thumbs up, if you would, that you can, our AV's okay. We have our normal people. Thank you. Yeah, we just got it good. Oops, sorry, now I made a mess. This is what happens when I grab the mouse. Sorry. Well, welcome again, like I said, to 2026 in Land Academy, and this is our weekly member call with you. This is your time every week to get directly with us, ask us questions, get things answered, get deals reviewed, whatever's on your mind, whatever help you need in your own land investment venture.
So that's, I don't want to fluff over that. This is your time with us, one time every week to spend, an hour or two asking anything that's on your mind, where you're stuck, successes that you're having, but just let us know what's going on, and we're happy to help, and we're here and available pretty much every single week.
I have a couple people that my team had alerted me that are dancing around being part of this community. So and I see you here, so I just want to say hello to Aaron. I don't see Earl yet. I don't see John. John might be here. Ronnie, I see hello. Todd and Carol, we are very happy you're here. And ask away. If you're just a guest today, we are happy to have you. Hopefully you're already in our space. Like, you may be here thinking, I just need to make this an empire now. I figured this thing out. Or if you're brand new to what we're doing, again, ask any questions.
Caesar.
Oh, thank you, Caesar. So thank you. And Rachel, good. He did that. Did you do that on purpose?
Yeah. No, it's subconscious.
Subconsciously.
You turn Jill's mic off and turn mine all the way up and say nothing.
Exactly. I love it. All right. Well, anyway, shout out to those of you who are just joining us today for the first time. Glad that you're here. What else my team is standing by to hook you up, by the way, just so you know. If you're like, okay, I'm in after 20 minutes of this, this is your community, then call them and I'll get you in. Okay, so can I go through the slides and just jump in? Absolutely. Okay. All right, we got to update these photos. As you can see, we are not on the boat. We have been on the boat, but we're not on the boat currently, but we will be again soon. Don't you worry. Or we might bring another vehicle back and be cruising around there.
Yeah, that's my hope.
We haven't planned out our 2026 yet. You know what? We've planned out professionally 2026. We haven't planned out a personal 2026. So
it's always that way.
I know. And I'm hoping you're getting our emails. So there's some announcements that are going to be coming out in the next week or two about, I don't know, career path, things like that. We're gonna get all that out there. Our coaching stuff that we're doing.
We're having a career path soon, so we're planting that seed.
Mm-hmm.
We've gotten a lot of feedback. A lot of people have requested for us to have am I interrupting you?
No.
A career path early this year.
Yep.
And frankly, I'm Jones on a little bit too. I love career path. It's our way to get some feedback about what's really happening out there.
Yep. If you're wondering what career path is, that's our high level mastermind program.
Yeah.
Where it's 15, 20 people in a virtual room with us for 4 hours a week for about 8 weeks.
6 to 8 weeks.
6 to 8. Yeah, I think we're at 8 weeks right now. Is how it goes, and it's amazing. Okay, so back to our points here. Of course, I think most of you know housekeeping. Of course, use a Q&A. The chat is perfect for the little, hey, we can't hear you, we can't see you, what's on your nose. That's our little, here's the right APN, whatever. That's what the chat's for, a little banter. And then the Q&A, though, that's what we're going to go through. I can always check them off and I don't miss a question. So that's the main thing. Make sure you're using that. I'll show you the format for Would You Do This Deal, so you have that here in just a minute. Let's see what else. Of course, we have to keep a handle on this. That's why we have one login per person too. I know my team is going to catch some of those here. So if you're wondering what happens if one of you gets logged out, you probably had 2 logins, and they'll fix all that. Okay. Take a screenshot if you don't have this. This is our Would You Do This Deal format. It doesn't have to be perfect, but like this. But this is basically, these are our 8 A's too. All the things that we use when we do our due diligence, phase one due diligence on a property to make sure we're not missing something and decide if we want to move forward on that
It
property.
also really helps you compare the properties that you're looking at as acquisition candidates in a like kind manner.
Mhm.
Like you can line them up in a spreadsheet or however you look at your deals and, you know, which one's got more acreage, which one has better access, and pit them against each other.
Hopefully you're using your free tools that we give you, like Deal Complete, and it has it all in there for you.
Yeah.
So you don't miss them. They're all in there, ready to go. Okay, so wins. I love starting with this. And I would, you know what? I woke up today thinking about this, like, you know, it's 2026. We're getting back into it for us. And not that I haven't been doing deals all on the side, but for the Land Academy part and you, and I'm like, you know, I'm excited to see everybody today because I'm really looking forward to hearing what's going on and what things we have, what wins we have. So here we go. And if you have more, you didn't make this, send it to the team, please pop them in the chat. And I will read those out too. I love this. Aisha, hopefully I said that right. I realized I've been stuck in analysis paralysis. So I finally sent my first mailer. That's so huge. I understand taking 90 days or, you know, that give or take to get a mailer out. I think you should. It should be that well thought out and prepared. Sometimes I've had people take years to get a mailer out. So good for you. I'm really glad. Carla said I wrapped up 2026 with 10 deals and just over 100K in profit. That's beyond what I expected when the year started.
So 10 deals, 100 grand, $10,000 each deal. You are a perfect candidate, Carla, to start. You are ready for wrapped up 2026, 2025. You wrapped up 2025 with 10 deals. So you are set up to really plan for 2026. Maybe do a couple fewer deals, but adding a zero.
I thought you were going to say career path.
And career path.
That's career path.
Yeah.
Those are career path numbers.
Yep.
Now you're like, okay, now what would happen if I times, you know, if I did twice as much or, you know, whatever it is, we can really help you with that.
I would be saying to myself, my process works. I bet if you really look at everything, you're probably going to say, this is just a freaking disaster. And that's what you should do when you start out. How can I make my systems more efficient and do deals that are easier, faster, and more profitable? Exactly. That's what career path is, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Henry said this quarter I flipped 2 small rural lots on Facebook Marketplace, making about 15K profit on each one. The gains were modest compared to others, but I'm on the slow and steady path. I'm proud of this progress.
Yeah, exactly.
That's amazing.
Yep.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Kevin said I had my fastest flip ever on a small lot. I listed on Monday and had it under contract by Wednesday for $7,000 in profit. Don't you love those? It's like, what just happened? You know what? This is when it hasn't happened in a long time, but this is when Jack would come to me and say, you sold it too fast. You priced it too cheap. I'm like, knock it off. You know, you just made 7K. Awesome. Move on. It's so good.
The days of me critiquing Jill in a professional setting are in the past. And I'll leave it at that.
Thank you. Notice he said professional setting, didn't say personal. Nice. Jade C said, I got my biggest deal to date under contract. If it all goes in plan, to be $75,000 in profit. Jade, are you and your partner? I hope you guys are all, Jade was the first of the Quitters Club, I think, in their family. And I believe, Jade, you were either prepping or did have your partner become also part of the Quitters Club. And I call Quitters Club when you you've made enough, you've proved this, you've got it figured out, like this is your full-time gig. And it's so amazing. And I could think of another couple who right now on this call that it's so like amazing when you're like, now we're both in this full-time and it's really, our time is our time.
Jade's been on an exponential success trajectory since they joined.
Yep.
You are a perfect candidate.
For a career.
We would love to have you on Career Path to share all that success. Career Path is a two-way street. It's not just Jill and I, you know, teaching and professing all this stuff. It's a two-way street to find out what's on the ground, what's really happening, and to respond to it in real time and make it work financially.
Exactly. I'm sure you're going to talk more about that today too. Laura said in December, I finally closed my 50th land deal. Laura, that's amazing. Oh, that is so cool. Let's see if we have any more, please.
There's some here.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead. Though.
Yeah. Is there another page and then I'll get to those? No. Okay, got it. All right. Mark M said, I started with Land Academy in July of last year, ended the year making 75K. Not bad for a little under 6 months. That is nothing to sneeze at. That's amazing. Hey, that's more than many salaries. Seriously. And you just did that. That is phenomenal. Congratulations. Jemay. Oh, hello, Jemay. Jemay has a win. I created and finished my 2026 business plan. I'm so happy.
You know what, Janae?
Jemay?
Janae's
For
been with
years.
us for a long time.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you, and if you're not comfortable typing in it, I totally understand, but I'd love to know just the highlights. Like, how many deals do you think you want to complete
That's good.
in 26, and how much money do you think you'll net? And if you're not comfortable, it's just do a little emoji with the middle finger sticking to me.
Privately. Love it. Oh my gosh. I got out my first mailer. Rachel Stutz, excuse me. I got out my first mailer order sent out. Yay. And I joined at the end of November. Woo, that's fast. Holy moly. So I know what you did over the holidays. This is great. Jimmy said, sure, no problem. 1 deal a month and $25,000 minimum a deal.
That's
I love those
$250,000 net, maybe 300. Let's just call it 200. $200,000 doing a deal a month. So I'll tell you, here's our business plan. 1 deal a month, $100,000 net, $1 million net.
That's an easy thing.
And
easy attainable.
We are, for the first time in a very, very long time, for all of you, please, bringing in new funders. So if you are interested, if you're here just to fund deals, specifically house deals that turn really fast for a pretty high dollar amount, let us know. Reach out to either me or Jill at Jack at Land Academy, or Jill at Land Academy. Are you Land Academy or Land Investors? Okay.
Land Academy. Yes. As a matter of fact, Mark C and I are talking about one. I don't know if my team got back to you, Mark. I looked at that property yesterday. Excuse me, partners meeting. Mark C. I looked at that house deal yesterday and I already put notes back to my team. I don't know if they got them back to you. Okay. Okay. You got that one under contract, right? All right. Did you open escrow on it yet? I just kind of want to know a little more of the story. You don't have to do it here, but if you would send it to Cindy. Okay, good. All right. Then it'll make its way to me. Okay, good. I told him I like it initially. I need a little more information.
Okay.
Yeah. So I like the numbers. But Mark and I are gonna.
So Jemay says my business model sounds, or my plan for 2026 sounds a lot better. I think it's the same. It's going to be the same amount of work as your business model, just with another zero. So you can do that too. You're totally qualified. You've been doing this for a while.
Speaking of the money part that you just brought up, though, don't be afraid of those bigger deals. Like, I'm not going to give exact numbers, but Mark is giving me presenting a deal for funding, which is between $500 and $1 million. Well, it's 700. I'll just be honest. So it's $700,000. Not afraid of it. So don't think that there's a ceiling, or there is a too small number, but there's not a too big number.
I think there's a too big.
Well, there are too big numbers, because it's like, hey, let's buy for 5 million and hang out for 5 years. No, we're not doing that.
That's possible. But
I mean, that is possible, but I don't want to wait for 5 years.
And that's not the Land Academy model.
Exactly. So there you go. Okay, cool. Now I've got a couple more here. I had one more.
Blake, we'll get back to you.
Yeah, 1 second. McMahon said, I have mostly been doing $30,000 profit cash flips.
Yeah.
I decided I want to do some owner financing in the last quarter of 2025. It worked. And I officially hit 15K in monthly recurring terms revenue in December. Isn't that awesome? Good for you.
If you have the stomach for both, this business model is fantastic for that, because you can pick and choose. A lot of deals that come back, especially with land, not so much houses, are good for owner financing, especially if you can drive right up to them. You can see very clearly, whoever's buying the property on terms doesn't have a lot of questions about it, and they see the value in it. So that's different those are different types of acquisitions. And if you have the stomach for owner financing and dealing with people that just being a collections agent, then that's all your bills get paid with 15,000 bucks a month. And when you make $30,000 on your next cash flip, it's profit.
Exactly. All right. Blake said, remember that triangle lot I was hesitant on buying that we reviewed a few weeks ago? I bought it for 4,600 bucks, half of the original offer. I self-closed on the buy side and had a buyer locked up for 15K before the deed was even recorded. I love that. Hoping to close in the next week or so as soon as the abstract is ready. There you go.
So we all have deals that happen like this.
Mhm.
And then we all have deals, including Jill and I, that we've owned for a year and we don't like it too much.
True.
And then, Blake, this is the deal. This is how you know you're doing every single thing right. You got an attractive property from an attribute standpoint and it's priced correctly. And it probably has all the A's, not just those two. So that becomes your kind of avatar or your go forward acquisition criteria to try to emulate that, maybe in a different market or markets. It's great when you have a personal example of what to continue to repeat versus listening to people like us say, this is what we did and you can too.
Love it. Just suggested my business plan and I just added a 0. Good job, Jemay. Awesome. I'm so glad. Yay. All right. What else do you have? Oh, we have a question of the week and then your stuff.
Yeah, go ahead,
Okay.
Jeff.
All right. So here's our question of the week from Jessica D. How do you confirm an easement or other legal access? I have a neighbor willing to grant an easement if one doesn't exist. How exactly do I go about getting that made official? I've heard you say before, it isn't always necessary to make it official, but can you please talk through what to do if I want to make it official before selling? So here's the scoop. 2 parts. First of all, is there one? What's interesting about easements is they are often hidden in a legal description of whoever granted the easement. It's not your property, right? Because it's an easement to that property, so it won't say that. But somewhere around there, a neighbor in their legal description will often have it in there written that, this is the property except for this piece and this piece, that's granting access to another property. So that's one way to find it. Second way to find it is call the county and ask them there, because there could even be a separate recorded document that reflects the easement. What Jack's showing too is you can see it on a plat map often too. But again, you have to be looking at the whole area, not just your property, but you got to be looking at the plat map for the neighbor's property and where it'll dedicate and show, dotted lines, or dashes, I should say, showing where the easement exists on one parcel too.
The vast majority of the properties that we deal in, I'm going to say 90+% have what's called a platted easement. Every single one of these properties have access, and you can see it because Jennifer, and I wonder who Jennifer and Elaine are.
Right.
And then Browning. Anyway, these all have access because it's been platted. Somebody went and platted the entire piece of property. There are different variances and different situations where the questions really start to happen when you're way out in the sticks. It's not a master plan community. And you start to see plat maps just like this.
Yeah.
There's a road that's going through here. And then you have squares. So the question is, does this property, it's probably tiny for you to see.
Yeah.
It's just a square, it's a mile from the road. Chances are these are maybe a mile or some amount of maybe 40 acres. So the only way is to find out, and this is the exception, not the rule, to find out whether or not this property has access is to look at, number one, the deed right here for this property, because it's close to the road. And it might be in the deed, the vesting deed, which is the deed in the chain of title right before us, or it might be back further.
Exactly.
And it gets a little complicated. So
Yep.
if you have in your very specific situation, you already won because You have a neighbor that's willing to grant an easement.
Right.
So do it.
Well, here's
I
my
would just do
thing.
it.
I usually don't because it costs time and it costs money. Because what does it really involve to get a recorded easement? You're gonna have to get somebody out there, they're gonna survey, they're gonna walk it, they're gonna measure. You have to rewrite the legal description on this neighbor's property, right? Doing it and get it all recorded. So, like I said, it takes time and money and energy. Personally, what I have done in the past, because I don't want to wait that long. It depends on the property, of course, but I've had properties where I just need to get it real quick because I'm going to sell it. And I just got it in writing from this person. And I had a wonderful broker that knew it takes about, back then it was like 90 days and $900 or something is how long it would. He's like, I already know what it would cost because we just did it for another one and the time. I put that in the when we're selling it. I have it. Here's what it would take. And then instead of me charging you more to do it, I'm passing that on to you. And then you guys can work it out if and when you want to. So there's just things too, like you don't have to have, you can sell a property without legal and have this and have very happy buyers knowing if they needed it, they could put it in writing. But right now it's a handshake and Mr. Jones knows that you can drive all you want, up and down this road kind of thing. So,
and everybody's on the same page about access and driving over property, then that's the whole, that's 99% of the problem solved.
Exactly.
This is not, an academic test. It's like, I'd like to put my trailer back there and drive there when I get home from work. And if the seller, hopefully the adjacent owner's like, yeah,
knock yourself out.
That's what the other
everybody else is doing anyway.
Yeah.
Look, that's there. You have physical access. Go for it.
That's it.
Awesome. Good question. Sometimes we get hung up on these things and then we make them a bigger deal than they need to be. I think that's the point here.
Or along those lines, we want to solve and get to all the knowledge first and then start making money. And it just doesn't work that way. The only way that I know how to make money is to do stuff wrong and screw it all up and lose money, then make money. And then eventually, hopefully you're doing okay. But Jill isn't like that. Jill's a pilot. She needs everything to be a kind of, organized. And
so this is the good.
I reward myself for screwing stuff up, and that Jill does not.
So
it's quite the opposite.
He'll run around. This is very true. He'll run around going, I think I got this. And I'm like, no. Now my checklist has 30 items instead of 29 from yesterday.
And number 30 is manage Jack.
That's right. Make sure he's fed. Make sure he's
just sad.
No.
Sad and true.
But it's true. That's why I have my checklist for you, in like our inbound seller checklist. That's why I started with probably 5 things, right? Look at our 8 A's. They were 4. Now they're 8. We keep joking they're going to be 10 here at some point. I don't know. We've been fine with 8 for years, but that's, you learn as you go, and access is one of the things that's on my checklist. You do need to know that. That's why it's an important, one of the top A's is, do I have it? It's not even that I need it yet. I just need to know, and I know what's possible. So this is wonderful. Thank you. All right. You have some stuff for us too. I promise we'll get to your questions in the Q&A.
Every year at the end of the year, the National Association of Realtors take a lot of time off. So the last,
but they took the holidays off.
Yeah. The last one of these weekly reviews that they published was from December 13th. And we talked about that in our most recent Thursday call. What they did do is give us what's going to happen in 2026 housing forecast. And they kind of summarized in a different format, but the same data, what they think is going to happen. And I reviewed this and I agree with it. First and last time I'll agree with real estate agents, but anyway, they think the forecast, the mortgage rates are going to be about 6.3% through the year average. It's right now they're about 6.6 to 6.3. They don't see this changing. I think the Fed will probably go through another round of reduction, maybe 2
maybe
next
halfway
year.
Through the year.
Yeah, depending on a lot of stuff. Median appreciation nationally. This is something Jill follows all the time, and she'll just, in the car or whatever, she'll just say, you can't believe what's happening in XYZ zip code. She follows all the zip codes. Jill has the same disease I do, follows all the same zip codes that we have done well in and do well in. financially buying and selling houses specifically. And she says XYZ zip code went up 2% or went up down 14% or whatever. So they think the national average is 2%. It's going to vary widely. And I'll talk about that in a second. Year over year, existing home sales up 1.3%. They think it was flat. And look at this. From 2013 to 2019, 2% increase nationally. So if you have a house in Detroit, you're losing money. If you have a house in Torrance, California, you don't care about any of this because your property just seems to ever go up.
Not as much as it was, though. That's the funny thing.
You have Torrance memorized?
I do have a lot of these memories. Yeah, because I have some Southern California ones that I was like, holy moly. You know, I've talked to a few of you privately about this, about you know, COVID resetting. And as a group, we've talked about it. There's been some COVID resetting.
This is existing for sale inventory. It's something that agents track a lot. When they have a lot of inventory, agents hate it. It puts real estate agents out of business when there's a lot of property for sale, which is right now. When there's very low inventory, they love it because they can, anything they list is going to sell. They don't have to do their job. So
such a stinker.
Inventory is down this historic period. It's way up in 24, way up in 25, and it's only not as up, which is slightly better news for them. And this is all amazing news for us. There's a lot of property on the market. We as buyers can name our prices, especially through mailers and other ways of getting, getting deals, filling the pipeline. New housing starts up 3%. And last year it was down 4%. I don't agree with this in any way. It doesn't tie with these other numbers. We will not have positive new housing starts.
No.
And we were driving through Temecula on the break, looking at signs. This is in Southern California, where all the new developers were offering new housing financing below 3%.
Yeah.
Like 2.5%.
They were buying down the interest rates to get you in. So
I don't know how you can stay in business because their cost of capital is more than that.
They've already outlaid the money. They have to get rid of them. So here's the thing. Though what offsets this, did you guys see I think it's BizNow. I don't know what it is. I get this, email, all real estate based. And it was talking about New York, this New York developer getting crazy amount of money to convert a downtown New York office building into apartments. We got things like those projects like that are happening. I can't wait to see if this really comes to fruition, because it was like $80 million in financing with something stupid to make 1,300 apartment units out of this high-rise New York building that was an office building. The bottom floor is going to be retail. And then he had a crazy number, like 20 or 25% of the units were going to be low-income housing. I'm like, well, how are you going to make any money?
Yeah.
And how do you promise that? I'm like, oh.
That's a topic for a podcast.
Yeah.
So
that offsets these numbers, I think. Some of these exciting things that they talk about.
We could all agree that there will be less housing starts than there was last. This is negative. So I really think it's going to be closer to this number. Homeownership rate's been the same probably since the 50s.
Isn't that a wonderful number to see? You go, what the heck? You mean more than half of our country owns our home? Yeah.
If you really look at what a really interesting statistic is, if you look at who doesn't have a mortgage, meaning
that's a huge one.
It's like 50% of the people who own houses, they have no mortgage at all.
That's the best.
That's staggering. Rental growth is about the same. It's going to go down. So I don't know where people are going to live, because I don't know how that works on a national average. I think it only works because people move around the country. So some rental growth is higher in some places and it goes down in some places.
Yeah, go where the jobs are.
What does this all mean for us? As I said earlier, there's lots of tons of inventory out there. And our job, we have one job this year, is to establish and maintain a pipeline of new deals that you're constantly looking at and buying them for less than they're actually worth today. And especially in a market like that now, make sure you buy badass properties. If there's any doubt in your mind, especially now in a market like this, all of last year, really, and probably all of this year, if there's any doubt in your mind, does this deal work? Like, we're going to look at deals later. If there's any doubt in your mind, just don't buy it.
Yep.
This is the year I'm dubbing for myself and obviously for you, the year of SFR pending analysis. What the hell is Jack talking about again? I typed in 85251 on Realtor. I looked at properties that are for sale. These are just SFRs, just houses. These are the houses that are for sale. There's 94 of them. I want to see what's pending. 14. As a percentage, that's not very good. You want to be at about a 1-to-1. So if there's 14 houses pending, well, as a percentage here, let me just cut to the chase. Really what I'm doing is giving you an example of this file. And if you're brand new, you haven't seen this yet, but if you've been around for a while, I live and die within this file. And you can pull it off of realtor.com in the research section right here. In this data library, it's this file, historical data. I'm going to put this in the chat for everybody.
You got a fast computer.
It's this massive file that's
it's huge.
This is a million lines. So you can look up any zip code or any zip code historically, and you can see
like 3 years. It goes back often.
It goes back almost 10 sometimes, depending on the zip code.
Yeah.
What the pending to active ratio is. And so when you have 11% of the properties, this is pending over active. 11% of the properties in any given zip code that are pending over active, not so good. You want to see close to 100%. And so you can sort for this. You can write a computer application, a relational database, all kinds of ways to manage this data. But I'll tell you what, this tells you where to send mail. This is the data source for red, green, yellow tests, which I'm about to answer a question when we release all these questions to the closed group.
I'm gonna start asking for this. Like, if you have this, Mark, I would love to know that zip code and what we're looking at, what the numbers say. Because I'll tell you, that's one of my concerns is days on market with that property.
We just looked at 85251, which is downtown Scottsdale, which I constantly pick on. We don't send mail there. It's just it's Old Town Scottsdale. This is from November of 2025. I'm sure the December data is out by now, or I'm not sure, but we'll see if they release it. But if not, it's soon.
Yeah.
So if you look at the pending ratio, it's 30%, which is about what we just found out. 30% of the properties that are pending against all the properties that are active. I'd like to see it at 100%. And there's markets out there, SFR markets that are out there that are at 100%.
Will you show us? Will you flip to some, or just kind of?
No.
Oh, okay, never mind.
We're going to be out of time. And
okay, got it. But you'll find them. But yeah, it's kind of
all you got to do is go through here, sort for it, and see what makes sense to you. By the way, you have a choice about where you buy property all over the entire country. Real estate agents have been working 1 or 2 areas their entire lives. And if they're in a zip code that just does not working right now, they're out of business.
Yeah.
Or they're crying to their husbands about how much money they don't make, or some version of that.
Right.
They're not in a happy household. True. Like Jill is. Jill's in an amazingly happy household.
All the time, every day. Wakes up with a smile.
This is the year of pending. You guys should all be horsing around and finding ways to locate property and fill your pipeline in zip codes that have passed that pending test with flying colors. And honestly, it's as simple as that, and just follow through. That's what I do. This is exactly what I do when I pick a new market.
I love this.
I didn't realize that this zip code gets cut out up here. Did you? I thought it was just like a square.
Oh, it's
We've
a
been doing
mess.
stuff in the zip code forever.
When you just look at Scottsdale as a whole, it's huge. It's massive. It's just a mess.
Okay.
while you're pivoting, I wanted to point out one kind of, well, actually, it doesn't really matter. I think it's kind of funny, but you pick on real estate agents, yet we have two new friends this year that are very successful real estate
Yeah.
agents, which is really funny.
Why is that? Why are they so successful?
Well, let me back up.
It's a good case study.
Husband and wife, she's residential, he's commercial. I find this amazing. I don't know how they do it, but they do. And they've been together for decades. What's so cute is guess who's his pal? The woman. She is a smart cookie. I mean, the man, you're the pal. Yeah, you. Like you appreciate them both, but every time you leave a conversation with her, you go, damn, she's smart.
Because there's no question.
It's awesome.
First of all, we haven't known these people sober, so this is all half truths.
True.
But so there's no questions that she can't answer.
Yeah.
And it's not fluffy. She's like, yeah, you don't want to buy there. That's a has-been. You want to go over here. This is a why.
That's true.
The houses are too small over here. They're not, you have to rebuild them. It's just real matter of fact stuff that you don't hear from a regular residential real estate agent. Regular residential real estate agents say, I don't know, but do you want to list your house? Why are you asking me this? Are you going to sell?
Yeah.
She doesn't. She's not.
That's not her.
No.
It's kind of funny. I just thought that was interesting. Mark says, how do you account for seasonality in some markets and then are more busy in the summer, et cetera, with that ratio?
So this is how, oh my gosh, great question. This is how you do it. But you look at a trend. So I hope you can see this column in column B here. You can see this is 2024, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Then we go to 2025, January, February, March, all the way through. And you can analyze the year over year changes. So this is year over year here, median. This is just for listing price, but they do it for everything else. This file is so big. I tripped it because we're on Zoom and everything. There's trend. I would, if you're a data person, well, please, as soon as you have a couple hours, pull this file down and horse around with it. You're going to fall out of your chair.
Mm-hmm. You'll spot it. You'll see. You'll just see every year the trend. We've talked about this in past years too. Like, traditionally, when do you want to buy some Colorado and whatever property? When it's crappy and cold and yucky and nobody's buying anything, you want to buy it right now and then sell it when, oh, look, April, May, it's beautiful and dreamy. Then you sell it and you get more money for it too.
Then I want you to go to Realtor and you will see this January, February, March, April, May. You'll see active listings and sold listings and the whole thing. And I'm going to put this in here too. Redfin has one just like it. And these are all in Land Academy 3.0. I walked through both of these files in great detail. There's a tons new listing count by year, active listings, and hopefully new listings and sold listings. And you can see this is seasonality right here. You can track seasonality, and in many places, not specifically here, you can type in your own zip code or a county or an MSA, a market. It's truly amazing how much choice you have in data. This is all free. How much data? It's data. We're data driven. We don't guess here.
Cool. Mark says, I'm already on it with this property. Thank you. Chris Nelson says, although when it comes to SFR, seasonality may not be as important, concerns from the hunt for people, individual situations and circumstances, which happens all year round, which is true.
People sell real estate because they're something happened in their life. People sell real estate to us because something happened in their lives and they want to get out of it. And they're not concerned at all about maximizing price. One of those circumstances might be this, and this is my 2026 personally. I've had this property listed for 2 freaking years. My husband already moved to Massachusetts. He got a new job. Everything's great. He hates living in a small little apartment. He drinks too much. I need to sell this house. It's time for me to get into reality. And I'm having a personal circumstance.
Family.
I need to sell. I need to sell this house to Jill. I talked to her 6 months ago. She was nice. She gave me a price. I'm going to take it.
Yeah.
That's your 2026 right there. Chris, tell me that doesn't happen to you every day. Chris Nelson's been with us forever.
Yeah. What sucks is, yep.
Daily.
Doesn't it suck when there's something like, shoot, I would have jumped on that a year ago, and you're like, I don't really want it now.
If you leave your guy, if you leave your guy in Boston, Massachusetts long enough, he'll come back with a different attitude.
Oh my gosh.
He'll implode on himself. I know this specifically with Boston because I have personal experience there.
Nice. I don't want to know.
All right.
All right. Get to the questions here, please.
I thought we did. Oh, these questions.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Can we click them?
Yeah, we're gonna close the call to the public. Maybe it's already closed.
It could already be closed.